You want to hear about another relentless and ruthless game that doesn't care about your feelings.
When I was younger, I was a real hardcore gamer. Games like Ninja Gaiden and Snake's Revenge were an easy ride. It was all just mind-numbing trial and error at a hardcore pace. I also didn't have much stuff to do. No bills to pay, insurances, mortgage... Anyway, there was only one game that I never ever seemed to finish, because it was so soulless. A demon trap. A twisted prank from publisher Capcom, which just wanted to stomp on children's hearts for their own amusement.
Nobody ever talks about this shit show of a game, and for good reasons.
State of the art, high resolution graphics, premier worldwide arcade game designer Capcom, luring little kids and eventually popping out, manifesting into this, trapping many children with their saved up allowances, Christmas and birthday money. Back in the 80s, Capcom was one of the biggest publishers in the world, making games like Mega Man, 1942, DuckTales, Ghosts and Goblins, and Bionic Commando.
The game is called Trojan. Like a Trojan horse, it goes inside of you with the false lights on the box.
You only take one glance and you know what time it is. I started playing this game for this review and holy hell, this game is still and ever as hard as nails. Now here's what I think this game is about, because the game has like 1% of a story. You move around a red-headed character called Trojan, who needs to save captive people from the enemy. That's all the box art on the back says. My interpretation is that you move in a post-apocalyptic world, heavily Mad Max inspired, to ruthlessly kill annoying and ugly characters for no reason, other than for feeling the satisfaction of blood splattering all over Trojan's red wig.
And then we arrive at the state-of-the-art and high-resolution part.
I never understood, even when I was a kid, how these statements somehow were true. It doesn't do something more or even better than the other games from the same era. Nor are the graphics better or lesser than any other Capcom game on the NES. But what makes this game memorable in a negative fashion is the hardcore gameplay. There are a few options from the menu, naming a one-player game, two-player game, and a versus mode. The one and two-player games are just the main game. The two-player option is just taking turns when the other player loses a life. This game would have benefited from a two-player on-screen mode like Double Dragon, which could have eased the pain. The versus mode is an absolute joke. You face off as Trojan against another nameless hero, which looks a lot better in my opinion in a duel match. Sort of a Street Fighter 2 kind of mode, but a 100% suckfest. There's nothing to do here, other than bash each other's head in, button mashing in hopes you randomly win against another player. When I was young, my brother and I used to just sit on our knees here, shields up, and wait for the other one to lower their guard in order to make a hit. There's no way you can destroy the shield or other way to hit your opponent. You just have to wait it out.
So on to the actual game, which is surprise on the same level of awkwardness.
Trojan must have one of the weirdest overall character and level design to exist. People walk around in medieval armor, some wear shredded ninja outfits, it's all over the place. It's an endless spawn of enemies from left to right. There's no time to breathe. You see this? Don't do it. Your first instinct is to go into this well, only to be disappointed. You face off this ninja hobo who throws shurikens. When you defeat him, you get nothing. Why did you have this fight? I don't know. Grab the boots and jump out with a super jump, only to be back at where you went into the well. There are random boss fights which are triggered when you see the screen flicker. The first boss encounter are these two buffed, shirtless dudes with axes. They can be easily killed by just kneeling and striking. The second part of the stage is just an exact replica of the previous stage, with some worthless armadillo character waiting for you in the sewers. The game is kinda sneaky though. When you jump over the well, a heart appears, which could restore your life to a maximum again. Seeing as this game gives you only 2 lives, no continues, and no adjustable difficulty setting, it's easy to fall for this trap. Now the trap is that you might fall in and have to fight the armadillo dude again. Trojan also walks hellishly slow. Look at his movement. Now the boss on this stage is unforgiving and cruel. There is a way to beat him in a fast manner, but his attacks are random, and some of his strikes don't only take 1 life, but sometimes 2 to 3 life bars in one single hit. It took me half an hour to beat this son of a bitch, but the trick was to eventually shield up, standing, and just sitting out strikes and timing mine. Eventually I beat the guy and arrive at a mountain level. Why? The armadillo guy reappears, this time at ground level, wanting revenge for his cousin in this long and tedious battle. Yada yada, you then are thrown into the next level, which is a death trap itself with projectiles coming from all sides. Remember, no continues, just 2 miserable lives. and a health bar that depletes extremely fast. Armadillo's sister appears with a straight back. You'll see that shredded clothing Ninja Hobo has surfaced as well, but seeing as that I have no lives left, I died at this section.
Now I made it further than when I was 8 years old. I just can't take it anymore.
I found some cheat code, which gives you unlimited continues by holding the start and up button at the game over screen, but that didn't work for me. So, is Trojan a great game in 2020? Well, that depends. If you are from an alternate universe, in which the highest form of entertainment is slapping a wooden stick against a pile of sand, this might be the best game in that 2020. Thank you for watching this episode of In Retrospective, a series where I place older games in today's era, to see if they're worthy, even in this day and age. Then give it a thumbs up below this video, subscribe even to keep updated for newer releases, and tick that notification bell to be notified when that happens. And I'll see you on the next In Retrospective video.